I definitely appreciate what you said though about, sort of being an entrepreneur within another company. And I feel like there is a big problem in, sort of in the workforce where people don't think that way, right? They think as an employee, they almost think, how can I sort of take advantage of my employer rather than thinking, how can I think like the owner of the company and try to operate my own world within the business as, how the business owner would want to operate. How can I save on expenses? How can I increase margin? What are things that we can do to try to help grow the business and operate in a way as if it was your business on the line every single day, rather than you're just showing up, clocking in and clocking out and doing whatever task that your manager asks of you. And if more people thought of it that way, I think obviously the entrepreneur would be much happier. They'd have people that are, acting the same way. And so then it kind of leads to, and I'm assuming what maybe part of the book is, and I definitely need to pick it up and read it, or listen to it like you, I get that. But maybe what they're trying to say is, if you can, as an entrepreneur, if you can get your employees to think that way, your business will be much more successful. And you're right, there are definitely people that are really good at helping to operate the business, or maybe being a number two in line or a support person in line, and they're absolutely needed. And so, figuring out what someone's strengths are within the business is one of the hardest parts of being the owner of the company. So it's fascinating. Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, enter the hardest part of entrepreneurship, which is the people side, right?
Yes.
Because not only is it about building the right team in terms of bringing in the right people, or when I say the right people, I mean people who have the right raw materials, right? But it also becomes, how can you train the people to become what you need them to be?
Yeah.
To your point, not many people think about being quote unquote entrepreneurs, right? And who's entrepreneur in someone else's organization. And if that is the case, you as an entrepreneur, you need to figure out how to train people to be like that. But then also, you as an entrepreneur need to realize that that concept exists, right?
Yeah.
Right. That concept is a possibility. And then you go and actually work on cultivating that within your team. That way, things can really move. And I think being pushed by my parents to go and be an employee helped making me realize this, because I had the good fortune of working for entities where I got to see that, right? Like I'll tell you, when I went to work at Goldman, I was just amazed at how intense people were in putting in all of these crazy hours. I mean, sometimes we'll be putting in 120 hours in a week, and people were very, they were very focused on, as if they owned the business, right? And there was this, even in reviews, there was this whole concept of sense of ownership. It was one of the key things that kept popping up in reviews. And my dad, when he got to see how hard we worked and got to listen to how the kinds of conversations we had, he said to me, now it makes sense why this company will never go bankrupt or go broke, because if they have all of these smart people putting in so much effort as if they're running their own businesses, and so that gave me the understanding that, okay, something like this does exist, right? And so now you acknowledge that it exists. The harder part is, okay, so how do you actually, or one, find the people who have the right raw materials, but also two, know how to motivate them to become entrepreneurs. That definitely is the hardest challenge that I'm facing today.